Dr. Dre on the beat.
Yeah, welcome back to the Poor Sports Seattle podcast. Been a little while. I haven't talked about this on here. I tried to record an episode while I was in Connecticut, and then it was like, do I really want to combine the sadness of losing a friend with like draft analysis? Like, is that really the? But we lost a comedy community member, Charles Hall, buddy of mine. I don't know how well you guys knew him, but he was a good friend of mine. I was just sad all last week, so we did not. Corey left in protest. He goes, I'm not talking about Charles Hall. I'm sick of it.
He's actually got a Zoom with his doctor right now, so he can't be here.
Yeah, we did have some very, very old man talk.
Boy, you know, I was just thinking it'd be fun to have one of those Twitter doctors on and then just have him diagnose us instead.
Yeah.
Fix my
Corey,
camera.
the top of your
Hi,
face
guys.
is cut out there.
Corey,
Perfect.
is this a black square in an homage to Charles Hall? Is that, I don't know.
That was what I was trying to do. Sorry, guys. Moment of silence is what I was going for. Whatever.
We thought you Zoomed with your primary care physician, and
you can't, when you get an appointment, you take the appointment.
can't skip those.
But yeah, so lost a
terrible.
buddy.
I knew him from just shows, and then he would work the door at the club a decent amount, so I'd see him there. And awful. And then he was from this area, sort of, or he lived in this area for a while, my area. So anyway,
Yeah, he was up in the Everett area for a while. Then in Spokane, but he's like, military brat, lived all over the country. So it's one of those weird things where you're like, tell me if you guys experienced this, where I was friends with him, good friends with him. And then you find out like he was really good friends with a lot of people, and you're like, there's part of you that's like a little jealous. You're like, I thought we had something special. Then you're like, oh, it is cool that like he was so loved and so sad that he's gone. All that stuff. We don't need to dwell on it, but
well, it just made me be like, I need to change my life. Nobody would say any of this about me. If I need to.
No, I mean, Corey's girlfriends always feel special
behaving
until they
differently.
find out they're one of a million. And then,
Andrew usually tells them.
well,
Shout out to
keep the
Karen,
secret.
Nicole. What's her name? Yeah. No, what's her name?
yeah, there's been some Seattle sports news in the meantime.
Seattle sports news.
Yeah, and some regular sports news. First thing, by the way, I guess this is in honor of Charles Hall. He and I connected when I started golfing. That was like when we got the most connected, and he was a decent golfer. It feels I want to talk shit actually, but it's like he can't defend himself. Tiger Woods for the second time in his career flipped an SUV. Last time got pretty severely injured. This time does not seem to have gotten very injured, but has taken this route of modern athletes to just go into rehab with no description of what he's going in for, just to improve himself.
I was shocked by that because of the pleading not guilty. We hadn't seen the body cam yet, but everything that was coming out was that like he certainly wasn't drinking. It's he's on a lot of pills. He's got multiple back surgeries and knee and ankle and all the things. So like, I was pretty. I guess that could be a PR move, but I thought the route was gonna be, oh no, I wasn't.
Right.
I pled not guilty. I wasn't high. I'm fighting that. And then body cam comes out today, and he's kind of like, he seems to be kind of, except for this one, he seems to be doing everything, which roadside tests are bullshit anyway, but like,
How do you know?
take it from
How do you
me.
know that, Corey?
And it's all bullshit. It's a scam.
the
It's
government's lies.
entrapment. They did lie on the police report, which was wild. I can't.
They hang
believe
out
they didn't-
outside of
make
Senior Frogs, and they just know that drunk guys are going to be chasing tail at 2 a.m.
So I was surprised. I thought he would go the route of an announcement that was like, no, I wasn't under the influence. Some guy with a big old trailer on the back of his truck slowed down fast. He says on site he was looking at his phone to change the music. I was changing the music. I screwed up. I hit the back of his trailer. That's gonna flip your car. I mean, I don't, what are you gonna do? But now that he's gone into rehab, out of the country, by the way, it sounds like he's gonna. At least the judge is allowing
I
him to leave the
mean,
country
rich
to do
people
it.
rehab is not like he's gonna go golf in the UAE or something. Well, maybe not. Maybe
I
not
just
Dubai
mean
right now,
not
but
Dubai. But I just am surprised. Just am surprised they went that route. I thought they would go the route of like, no, I was. So I guess maybe he wasn't that moment, but maybe he does. Maybe he's having a tough time managing the pill intake, given all the pain and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you're like, I guess people are just driving around on pills all the time because like a lot of people have chronic pain. I guess they're just driving around on pills.
Yeah, he had two in his pocket, two hydrocodones in his pocket. That doesn't necessarily mean anything either. He didn't take those, so
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean,
like,
Casey's leaving the
know.
comedy club 6 beers deep after a feature set. You know what I mean? You want to be on the road with him and Tiger Woods at the same time? I'll tell you what.
This is
Listen,
the afternoon. He's just driving in the afternoon.
This is a boozy brunch for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, that's not the only person that went to rehab, though. The other, our anti-Semitic friend of the South, Puka Nakua, our
Meanwhile,
backbiting friend.
There's videos of him dancing in the street, just completely hammered, and you're like, "Uh-oh, I didn't see
Well,
him.
you're
I
allowed
didn't
to be
seem good."
hammered. You're not allowed to be
It's true.
hammered and hate the Jews. That's the other problem. It's like, did you ever
That's
hear
the Mel
the-
Gibson rule.
Mel
Yes.
Gibson. Ah.
There's an old rule that for staying out of trouble is don't break 2 laws at once. And so it's like, don't go speeding if you're black. You know what I mean? Like those two things together.
The views expressed on this podcast do not necessarily. By the way, this I do want to point out, Andrew created this direct plagiarism of PTI. We'll have a better, we'll have a different version of it next.
I thought of this all on my own.
PSS.
It took
I do
me
wonder-
minutes
is it like-
of Photoshop, and I misspelled Casey's name at first, but it's time somebody
PSS is
puts some
kinda
effort into
fun.
this.
Oh yeah, it's kind of fun because PSS is like, and another thing. I gotta tell you.
Oh yeah,
Or is that PPS? Or is
It's
it?
a secret.
Yeah.
we need
Because
it.
nobody's
A lot
watching.
of. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to stream this to my.
Yeah,
audience.
Puka stinks. I don't know. He's
So Puka goes to. I wonder this about dudes that. So he goes to high school in Orem, Utah. He actually goes to UW, if you remember, and then
BYU.
ends up at
Oh, yeah,
BYU.
yeah.
And you wonder if these dudes that are in places like that, Andrew's gone, podcast just got
Andrews.
50% better. Hold on, let's get him back in here.
He's got and I was
Yeah.
okay. There it is. There
Yeah,
we are.
it's-
Welcome back.
You wonder if these dudes from Utah are just like on Rumspringa when they get out of college. You know what I mean? Like he's living in LA. No, well, I think I did hear today that his dad died when he was young, but like no, nobody to rein him in necessarily, and he's just going crazy.
Yeah, yeah. That was one of my favorite reality TV shows back in the day. Did you watch that one? The Amish in the country, Amish in the city, or what it's like being Amish.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
Breaking Amish. Is that what
I
it's
think
called?
so. I think so.
Yeah, my wife watched.
Awesome.
I caught bits and pieces of it as it was going on. I know every single character from every franchise of Housewives, despite I have no
Whoa.
like sit down time watching any of them, but they're on at my house enough that I know every single character.
That's awesome. I love that. That's great. Wow, Puka is. Yeah, I mean, I relate as a Christian college attendee who, I went a little wild there for a while, but like, I can't imagine if I had actual money to purchase things. That would have been
Right.
That would have been really nuts, I think.
Did your
drugs,
college hand out
alcohol,
condoms
sex.
or anything like that?
Ooh, God, no.
Oh,
It
funny.
was all abstinence was the way, and you couldn't be. We got in trouble because the house we lived in, Yeah, there was a curfew where girls, or they didn't call them women, they didn't had to leave.
They hadn't invented
by,
women
like,
yet. It was all girls back then.
no, by 10 p.m. And one night, we didn't really even think much of it, but one night, Aubrey, my girlfriend at the time, crashed on the couch because it was late and terrible idea to drive, whatever, and we didn't even think anything of it. And then it wasn't getting in trouble from the school; it was roommates who were like, "So,
Do better.
Wow.
I mean, it's not very good." And I was like, "Oh, she slept on the couch. Who cares?" Anyway, Christian
This
college,
is why
baby.
I like my athletes
Shut 'em down.
because like I think John started shifting his draft philosophy. Like they didn't take like Jalen Carter in the first round or whatever because they knew he was gonna beat somebody up or drive 100 miles. Not that you could get up to 100 miles an hour in Seattle traffic, but no, I think it's
all those protesters.
Well, he did have right before the
The
draft.
millionaire tax is unfair.
He had that situation where he was driving a car in a car where it crashed and someone died. Like that came out really close to the draft, and my memory is like because I'm a draft nerd. Like he came to the combine overweight and in bad cardiovascular shape also, and like it was a bad draft season for him. It
How
wasn't
could you
just,
tell?
huh? How could you
could you
tell?
tell?
As a person
I
who
know
can
about
tell very
DUIs,
distinctly tell the
Casey knows
difference
about.
between. Yeah, I could tell 1%
He looked
body
like
weight.
he was
and-
driving drunk. I can attest.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. Combine. Do they do when they do a physical? Do they check them for hernias? Speaking
yeah,
of
I'm
the
sure
hernias,
they do everything. They do
yeah.
like they do all kinds of stuff that it's like kind of. I was in a green room and while the combine was going on. And they were talking. Someone brought up that isn't this kind of like the slave trade? And I was like, well, Colin Kaepernick already beat you
yeah.
to this observation. First off, person was a 49ers fan also, and then I was like, but if you think about it, it is kind of crazy that you're like there's a safety element where they're like, oh, we examine this person, we find a heart arrhythmia that saves him. But they
Right.
also like a couple years ago there was a baseball player where they discovered he had a thin like UCL in his elbow. Like it was just unnaturally thin, and so they were like, "Well, he's eventually gonna get hurt."
Tommy John, and we're gonna have to.
Yeah, and it's like, well, which like I don't know. That feels a little unethical to be like examining someone down to that point where we're like putting calipers on a tendon in their elbow, and I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah. The thing that's interesting, I mean, I don't need to go deep into this bit. We'll do it later, me and Andrew, maybe when we're running bits. But I just think it's so we all know about getting the hernia checked when we're 13 to play middle school basketball or whatever, and it just feels is that prevalent in 13-year-old boys? Like it feels like there was a doctor 80 years ago who was like we should check him for hernias. And
Dr.
they're like,
Nasser.
what? Like, shouldn't we check him for respiratory problems and heart issues? No, hernias. Anyway.
Well, also, it
Yeah,
feels
is
like
that, is that the main bit to look out for? Is that?
And now I know, right? Exactly. It's like we got to focus. Yeah. So then, is our current roster, up and up fellas?
Yeah, they've done a really good job, or they've
most part.
really cleaned up the evaluation process for guys with character issues. I think it's like since Malik McDowell. Do you remember? I mean, I don't know if McDowell ever even suited up, but he got into the ATV accident right after the Seahawks drafted him, and he had like some character concerns before, and then I believe he ended up in like a felony assault case in a gas station. Like,
Yeah.
Damn.
it fell apart for Malik McDowell very quickly.
That footage got released too, I think, and he took on like a couple cops at once, and you see the draft potential there.
Wow, this guy can really
I see
tackle.
what they saw. Yeah, literally, he can
He's
take
got
on two
good-
blocks at once, and but wrong scouting
That's
footage.
interesting.
Yeah, but he was supposed to be like a top 5, top 10 talent, but he dropped because of character concerns, and they took him like 28 or something over a Pro Bowl guard or something like that, like they usually do. So, but yeah, he can't. They can't. They can't. What's the old? You got to be on the field to play or something like that. You can't win
your
win
best
the job on
ability
the bench
is
or something.
availability.
There you go.
Yeah,
That used to be my
Sanders'
comedy
joke.
career slogan.
Now,
Do you have
my
a car?
memory-
You got 30 minutes?
From-
No, do you have a car though?
Yeah.
there's from my memory, our last episode, our last time talking, Casey he was pretty on point with all these decisions we made. Who we were
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
let
I
go,
can't
who
wait
we were
to
gonna
get
keep,
into-
and
Showing him what he's wrong about.
Andrew wanted everybody, and
Wanted to keep everybody. I said keep Josh Jobe, let Reek Woolen walk. The only one that I will say, the bringing back Rashid Shaheed at the price is a little tough,
That's
but
right,
everybody was so
yeah.
much more expensive than I think even I anticipated. That yeah, I mean it's if you had to do one and you had to overpay for one, I'm glad it wasn't Kenneth Walker. Basically,
But is it an
Yeah.
overpay? Because Alec
that's fair.
Pierce got $600 million from the Colts
Right.
after like a
Yeah.
half a good season. Like
Yeah.
comparable to the
Romeo
free
Dobbs
agents.
got, I think, 4 years, $80 million. Yeah. I mean,
So,
I'll say
I guess-
15 catches in 9 games is concerning, right? Like that's we can't ignore 15 catches in 9 games every time we talk about it.
putting
but-
up Cal Raleigh batting
yeah.
average numbers over there.
Well, I mean, if we were sitting in a room and they were like, "Do you want Mike Evans at this price or Rashid Shaheed at this point?" In case you kind of made the point of like, well, I mean, tail end of his career, but you only have to. That's fine. He's going to be good this
Yeah.
year, probably. But is he going to be on the field? Is Evans going to be on the field 2 straight years of
Mike Evans with the
seasons of
substation, that's a bad
stuff.
combination right there.
Yeah. It's
He's
the
gonna
other thing
live
about
to
that,
his
of course,
last
is
1,000 yards.
you have to be able to convince Mike Evans to come here. And it's like,
Sure.
like he may not come here for the same money as he went to San Francisco for. Like that's just a reality
It
we
wasn't
all have to
just
consider.
Yeah.
He also
Um,
said
He might
was
be the number one
missing
receiver
piece.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, they did say he. Well, dude, I mean,
So the
I think
CTE is already a problem. I don't think we want this guy.
is that dude still Jawan Jennings still hasn't signed, right? Did he sign somewhere? Because I actually like him quite a bit,
Oh.
but he
Yeah,
was
he was really good.
yeah, so they have Jawan Jennings is gone, Brandon Ayuk is gone, Debo's multi-year's gone. And then Mike Evans comes in. He might, and they got Ricky Pearsall.
Pearson.
But yeah, he might be the number one receiver at least going into camp.
Interesting. Well, that might be important to him or whatever. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Even were you surprised Reek Woolen didn't get a long year deal, or is that pretty expected after all teams are going? You're crazy talented, but you make the dumbest plays ever a couple times a year, and we don't know if we could trust you for 3 years.
Well, I said in our group chat, and I think this is true. Like, if the Seahawks would have offered him the same deal, I think he would have been stupid to take it. I don't think he would have accepted it because
Right.
the Seahawks have all this information on him, and they'd be making an informed decision, not like taking a flyer on him. I'm not super surprised, but also like he is so young and so talented that I was like, I guess I would have thought. I wonder if he was offered because he got 1 year, $15 million. If he got offered 2 years, 30, I don't know if he would take that deal because theoretically he could go have a platform year and go make a bunch of money, like hit free agency again. And I think like 27 years old. But no, more importantly, the Seahawks extend Jackson Smith and Jigba, which is they sign him to a record-setting contract with his 5th-year option. I think the average annual value is like $33 million, but the new money beyond that was like $41.8 million or something like that, outpacing Jamar Chase. And I mean, pretty much universal celebration. Do either of you have any break from the celebration of Jackson Smith and Jigba? I know Andrew's like, please give him more money. Anything to keep him doesn't matter to me. It's not my money.
no qualms here. I mean, yeah, great player, stays on the field. Seems like a good guy.
Yeah, seems sane, which is
Jesus.
crazy.
Yeah, he's not biting
Doesn't
people.
not a super like injury risk based on the way he plays. It doesn't seem.
Also, when
Yeah.
Lenore on the 49ers, like a lot of that like shoving, he doesn't take bait like DK Metcalf would.
Sure.
With the salary cap going up, I think also when you stretch it out when you start to look at the numbers, like in 3 years, he's going to be underpaid or whatever, as long as, money's still a thing and
trends stay.
football's still a thing. But, with inflation, he's making barely enough for a 1-bedroom apartment at this point. I don't know. I think you got to
Poor
throw him
guy.
a couple extra bucks, but
Before we
it's a
get
great
further
deal.
in this, we got some chats that I didn't see earlier.
Woo.
We got any volunteers
see?
to cup the balls? I
That's-
don't know whose fan
I'm
this is.
telling
I hope not mine.
Hernia.
Scared straight into homie checking. Pause. All right.
Hernia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. My joke for me there, Justin.
That
Substation.
substitution
Oh,
shit
yeah.
is. Substation shit is hilarious.
boy,
Yeah, that's-
Casey's drinking already.
I'm looking at. Yeah, we got a whole different setup here today. We're trying to make things more fancy, and obviously it's not working great.
Everything's smaller.
They signed him before they sold the team. They made sure he was taken care of. Yeah, so I think that's like double-edged sword. He's obviously one of the best players. I think it was a no-brainer. He's like a perfect character guy, still very young. The sum of the whole contract is going to be somewhat of a bargain by the time you get to the 5th year of it. I think he's, the number is going to be huge. You're either going to be cutting him or re-signing him anyway to something lower. I'm not that stressed out about it. I will say, like, as I look at the cap situation, I'm a little more worried because I thought they needed to prioritize extending Devin Witherspoon also. And I do think it's worth starting to consider, like, one of the downfalls of the previous, so the big downfall is you lose the second Super Bowl of what would have been a dynasty. I think many of us believe you lose the second Super Bowl, you lose essentially the entire defense and half of the offense. Philosophically, they just like, I think hated Pete Carroll for a couple of years, frankly. But they also they tried to pay everybody. They tried to pay Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and Marshawn Lynch and Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson. And eventually they found themselves in kind of a cap issue. And I think to avoid that, I think it's a good time to start thinking about which guys are you willing to let go. And I'm going to Andrew because Andrew has the same. My daughter last night was crying over a cardboard box that she had turned into a boat. That I wanted to throw away, and Andrew has the same.
Couldn't afford the ferry fish and chips at the Mariners game. You're like, I'll make you a boat here, baby. We don't need to spend $40.
I didn't make it. She goes. I worked really hard on it. My wife and I looked at it this morning. We're like, she drew 2 circles on the front of it. What are we talking about?
That's what I say with my jokes, Bob. I worked really hard, and they're like, you just jotted down an idea and riffed it half-assed on stage.
So of these guys, Andrew, like yay or nay, and you got to have some yays in here that you're willing to move on from them. I mean, Devin Witherspoon, are you okay letting him walk? He's got 2 years left. He's got 1 year plus his 5th year option, and not letting him walk. In his case, I think you'd obviously, if you were going to let him move on, you would try to trade him. Last year, Sauce Gardner got traded for 2 first-round picks and a receiver, Adonai Mitchell, who was a first-round pick himself.
Well, Devin Witherspoon's clearly part of their long-term plan, so this is not even me having to make a decision. The team has already mentioned that he's part of their Swiss Army knife, and so.
Well, the ink isn't dry on a contract yet, so
he can.
I'm
bring
giving you
his
the
leg
option
tomorrow, and the thing would change. But yeah, you keep him around because they're gonna keep him around, and he's a good player.
So if they do it, then it has to be right. Got it? Leonard Williams, 32 years old in the last year of his contract.
Say goodbye. See you later.
Okay. Heart of the defense. So then with that in mind, Byron Murphy is going to be a free agent in a couple of years. Yes, what? Let him go?
you're like 6 years down the line here. I can't,
It's not 6 years down the line. It's
Yeah.
Byron Murphy just played his second year. He's from the draft class after Jackson Smith and Jigba.
right.
One more year and he'll need us something.
So, yeah, we'll see in a year. You get them to the. You don't make decisions 3 years out.
I'm telling you, you have to start thinking about these decisions right now. And for the sake of the podcast, I'm asking you to have an opinion on it. For the love of God, not. I don't want you to
Byron
say
Murphy will be
1 year from now I'll
re-signed.
agree with what the Seahawks do. Isn't really an opinion.
They just won the Super Bowl.
Listen,
They're making the right
whatever the
decisions.
government
Why-
does, that's what I like. Whatever
Stop reading my journal.
Andrew still wears a mask everywhere he goes. So I don't know.
Absolutely. Byron, I think, is the replacement for Leonard Williams. I think you let Leonard go after his contract, and then that's the whole point of having, is drafting the young player and then paying them a second contract when they deserve it.
Sure.
It will get a little dicey because Emanwari, Barner, Zabel.
Yeah, so Barner comes a second year, but you have to pay.
Plus, we have this first round pick this year, and then eventually you're going to have to re-sign him in 5 years. So I just think we got to really think about this seriously.
Well, they do.
I mean, yeah, they literally have a 3-year window that they're planning into.
Yeah.
They have a guy
I'm
that
not
does
running.
plans.
I'm not running the overthecap.com.
Yeah, dude, I
over
didn't
here.
think you were a guest from the Seahawks front office. That wasn't the point of me asking you the question. I wasn't like, please let me know your plan, capologist.
Well, if they're going to re-sign Sam Darnold in 6 years for $1 billion.
By the way, that contract's next year. They're going to have to do that after next year.
Yeah. And great. Wonderful problems to have.
Oh, this
That's
is such
why
a cop-out.
I know,
I mean-
but it's not to be decided yet. I mean, they give players an extension 1 year out if they earn it, and then they
Correct.
let them play out the contract for a reason.
So if every one of these players wants something close to a top-of-market deal, which I think every one of those guys we talked about has an argument to have a top-of-market deal, you can't keep all those guys. That's
Sam
what I'm
Darnold,
saying.
top 10 Seahawk of all time, okay? And you're just going to kick him to the curb.
I didn't say kick Sam Darnold to the curb at all. I said
No,
you
this
got to
is
make
what
tough
I'm
decisions,
saying.
and you go, well, whatever the Seahawks do, that's what I love. This is why we have a podcast.
I mean, yeah, I'll chime.
Thank God.
Looking at this list, for the those who don't know, the list is Emanwari, Darnold, Barner, Zabel, Hall. I mean, it seems like we are pretty content over the years to just sort of rotate in tight ends, whoever, he's not exactly elite yet. It seems like we're willing to be like, all right, we'll get somebody else put in that spot. That doesn't
Well, that's
mean
kind of
that
interesting thing.
I don't know.
This is why I'm
And
kind of
then
curious
Darnold
about
is
the.
I don't know what the plan would be at quarterback if we let Darnold go. I mean, yeah, what Raiders just signed Kirk Cousins, just some crazy weird. That guy has really found a way to make money in the league. It's insane. He's good or whatever, but yeah, are we just gonna go hand the ball off to Milroe or?
Well, I think obviously you'd have to figure
yeah.
out if Milroe's good, and if the Seahawks think he's good, then
Right.
it's definitely the right decision. It couldn't
I just don't know
possibly
how
be
we
wrong.
figure
They've
out
never
if he's
evaluated a
good.
quarterback incorrectly.
But
how
you're
do I
asking
find out
my
if Milroe's-
opinion, and
Okay,
I'm like, I've seen 3 preseason snaps. How
A couple
how do we
things-
decide Gray
So-
Zabel's
Find out if
contract
Milroe's
6 years
good.
out?
Hold on. A couple
Yeah.
things that I want to say. One, we don't actually know because the Seahawks have historically in the John Schneider era, they paid Zach Miller, the tight end he played for the Raiders, and then they traded for
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham. They've invested in the tight end position, almost exclusively
Recently.
unsuccessfully.
Recently,
Yeah,
Well, that's.
Well, they traded they had Noah Fant, and they signed Noah Fant to an extension. Like they've put some money into tight end. They had high
Okay.
picks on, but that's all. I'm agreeing with you that I'm fine with moving on from AJ Barner. I do think one thing the Seahawks have done that people don't appreciate is if you look at the 3 quarterbacks who've taken them to Super Bowls. You're talking about a 3rd-round pick in Russell Wilson, a 6th-round pick that they traded for in Matt Hasselbeck, and a guy they signed as a free agent who was a very high pick. But they've kind of subverted this whole idea that you have to draft a quarterback in the top 5 picks to have a chance to win a Super Bowl. And I'll be curious what they do with Darnold. Like, if they're not going to pay him at the top of the market, which I think there's a decent argument that I'm going to do a thing later in the offseason that'll upset Andrew about how I don't know that he actually had a great they won a Super Bowl. That's all that's going to matter. But I think, like, quietly he had kind of a shitty second half of the season, including most of the playoffs. I think he wasn't incredible. The defense was really great. I wonder if they're going to be willing to pay him at the top of the market just because he won a Super Bowl in the past. To me, doesn't mean that they should have to certainly pay him at the top of the market.
Yeah.
Also, Witherspoon.
Is he going to ask for a top 5 salary, though?
I mean, why wouldn't he?
Because his name is Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but he's won a Super Bowl. Josh Allen hasn't won a Super Bowl. It's not really. Do you think Jackson Smith-Njigba? Let me ask you this: do you think Jackson Smith-Njigba is actually the best receiver, or he's a great receiver, one of the elite receivers, and he's just the next guy to get the contract? Like, if you were going to do a 1-for-1 trade, I think we might have talked about this on a past episode. If you were like Jamar Chase for Jackson Smith-Njigba straight across, I'll take Jamar Chase, but that wasn't offered, so I'm happy they re-signed Jackson Smith-Njigba. And I'm fine that they signed him for more money than Jamar Chase because they signed him a year later and with a 5th-year option as part of it. Like, that's just not how the league works. Like that, yeah, His name's Sam Darnold, but he will be, if he became a free agent quarterback, he'd be one of very few very good. He was an anomaly the way that he was a free agent coming off of one decent season in Minnesota. Those guys don't hit free agency very often. So yes, of course, he's going to ask for a whole bunch of money because quarterbacks don't hit the free agent market and they make a shitload of money when they do. Kirk Cousins got 4 years, $180 million with $100 guaranteed from the. Why wouldn't Sam Darnold be asking for $60 million a year when in 2 years when he's a free agent?
Kirk Cousins was essentially a backup last year and then filled in during injury. Yeah. Decently, not like amazing, but decently.
Sure.
And still getting.
I mean, Sam's got that job at Raising Cane's. He can still get some money on the side.
Supplement.
And, he'll sign a Kawhi Leonard deal with the new Sonics owner where with the new, the people that own the Clippers are going to buy the Seahawks and give him a $20 million bonus for planting a couple trees in the offseason. And he's going to take less so that he can win more Super Bowls.
You want to talk about the Sonics? Have we ever reached that point?
Yeah.
So do we want to there was a top 10 Seahawks list like 5 weeks ago when we started talking about it that was slightly controversial. We can, it was from Fox Sports, number 1, Russell Wilson, number 2, Steve Largent, number 3, Walter Jones, number 4, Bobby Wagner, 5, Sean Alexander, 6, Cortez Kennedy, 7, Richard Sherman, 8, Kenny Easley, 9, Marshawn Lynch, 10, Sam Darnold. Is there anybody in that list that you would replace with anyone else?
Let me pull up the, can you put the image up on the screen there so we can
Probably not with your cool graphic. I don't think it's going to work very well. Your sweet-ass graphic, which is good. I do like it, but I don't think it's going to work well if we put it up there.
Is it in this thing?
It's in the document.
Here we go. Was Kenny Easley top 10 material there?
Well, the only person old enough to remember him is Corey, obviously.
I met Jim Zorn. So yeah.
Okay. I met a guy who's not on the list.
And Jack Sikma. So I mean, they were the same team,
Jack Sikma played for the Sonics.
No. Kenny Easley and Jim Zorn, same team. I'm saying. So I met someone who played with Kenny Easley. I was trying to approve your joke, but all right, I'll take it back. Fuck it. Kenny, he was Cam Chancellor before Cam Chancellor, but I don't know. It's
Did
interesting.
they put
I
him
don't
on
know
there
numbers.
because they felt bad that they killed him with their illegal medication dosages?
Well, maybe. I just don't Yeah, it is an interesting, like, we obviously put this list probably obviously puts a premium on number one for winning the Super Bowl, and
Yeah.
yet the honorable mentions are all Super Bowl, not all. Well, yeah.
Steve Hutchinson and Matt Hasselbeck didn't win Super Bowls, but
Matt
they played in
didn't
them.
win Super Bowls, but
Tyler
played,
Lockett, I don't think, won a Super Bowl, by the way. I don't think he
I
was
don't
on
think
that
so
team.
either, actually. Yeah.
So 3 of the
Well.
5 didn't win Super Bowls. But
Well, the first two, I'm saying the first two are the same position as Kenny's, or
right.
and did win a Super. I don't know. Maybe the numbers
Is Sam
play out,
Darnold
or
a
maybe
top
it's
10
just like.
Seahawk already?
I mean,
See, that's what I'm saying. They're putting a premium on winning the Super Bowl, obviously. So.
I'm okay with it. I'm also okay with Russell Wilson at 1 because he was the best player to ever play the most important position for the Seahawks on a team that won the Super Bowl. So I'm okay with it.
For
I
a
understand
decent
the
chunk of
arguments against
time,
it.
too.
Yeah, and played at a very high level despite not putting up like the most sexy counting stats. Like I think he was pretty good in his time in Seattle.
his last
No
season.
DUIs, praised Jesus, went to the children's hospital. Everything you could ask for.
So
That's just because he was short. He had to go to the children's hospital for treatment.
they went there for treatment.
I bet the wait time's lower.
he that one got me. I do have some friends of the podcast. One since passed away, Bob Springer. If you like me or are near me, you're gonna die. That's the
Okay.
But his wife got trained at Quantico in like behavioral analysis or whatever, and she was like, once she got trained, she couldn't watch Russell Wilson interviews anymore because she's like, he's just a psychopath lying all the time. And I was like, oh wow, that's interesting to watch him talk through that lens. That someone who's like a trained FBI analyst says that he's
He's
constantly lying. Yeah, that.
Wow.
Yes, he did praise God at the end. Nobody bad has ever praised God. So yeah, the only one, Kenny Easley is just before my time. I'd take one of Sean Alexander or Marshawn Lynch. I'd probably go with Alexander if you made me choose, and I'd put, I think, Cam Chancellor on that list. Otherwise, I think it's like the list is pretty much nailed. People got mad about Steve Largent not being in the number 1 spot, and I do think there's value in playing quarterback and winning a Super Bowl.
And Russ was good for a good chunk of years. I mean, even that last season where people were like, he's really falling off and tearing, and you kind of look at it and you go like, he played pretty well.
Yeah, that was a strange year because that was the let Russ cook year, and he played like really well and was putting up good numbers, and then they just like went away from him a little bit, and he stopped playing as well. It was like a very strange. I mean, I think they obviously made the right decision. You can't argue with their. This is not a bad point, by the way. This is Mike Hansen. Walter Jones at number 1 is a pretty good argument, I think. Like probably the most elite player the Seahawks have ever had. Whether that means he's
9
accomplished
holding
the most.
penalties in 9
crazy.
Pro Bowl seasons.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh no, Wilson. He's that guy out. Cut him out. According to Mike.
Are there any current Seahawks players who will one day make the top 10?
Well, besides Sam Darnold, I think is the. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is probably going to be at the top of that list eventually. Like I think he's a couple years like that away. That's truly maybe the best offensive season any Seahawk has ever had. Like, and I don't even think we appreciate it enough. I talked about it either on this podcast or one that I did on my own. But like him having, I think he had the highest target share of any receiver since I went back to like 2009, and I think you could go further back. Like to do that on a team that was not throwing the ball very much, threw the ball less than anyone else, led the league in receiving, highest target share by like a full 2 percentage points or something like that. That's a crazy season. Like I actually think Jackson Smith-Njigba's 2025 is underappreciated, and it's considered like the greatest season probably in the history of the Seahawks.
with shitty Sam
Andrew
Darnold
looks
at
very
quarterback.
judgy right now. I don't like this. I don't like this, especially because your head's higher than mine. I gotta fix this next week because I feel like, this feels like
We're
you're
looking
sitting
down
at a
on you.
desk. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, this list is fine, but so then what about, so you're gonna do a Sonics list? Is that what you wanted
No,
to do maybe?
we got to talk about the Sonics coming back eventually. Or do you think it's like Andrew brought it up? So I'm not feeling it. I can't get excited about it, frankly, until like it's
zeros?
official. Yeah.
Yeah. Me neither. And I'm actually still nervous there's going to be some weird, like, we don't get to be the Sonics or something. Like,
No, I think that's actually already written into the. I mean, there could be something
official?
weird. I believe
been
it's
trying to
written into the sale that if the Sonics come back without any payment, the Seattle gets the history back.
Well, they
all right,
say you're only allowed 2 terms as
same
president,
thing where I
but,
want triple
you know,
zeros
who
on that
knows?
too.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Triple zeros. Give me. I'm not counting it out till he's under the ground.
But but yeah, so I mean, I maybe overstated a little bit. I didn't have any money when they were here, and so I didn't go to games, but I just religiously watched them or listened to Calabro on the broadcast, and just was in love with those 90s teams.
One of my hottest takes is that I think Kevin Calabro was a better announcer than Dave Niehaus.
Oh, he's so good. And still going strong in Portland, right?
Yeah, he still works in Portland. I
mean,
it
Dave
would be so
doesn't work
sad.
anymore. Good point. Yeah.
I know,
that's true.
Yeah,
That's
fucking
true.
lazy.
really letting us down. I was telling not to bring I'm going to just shoehorn Charles Hall into every conversation,
Sure.
but our friend Adam Tiller tried to book me on a gig. This is just a very comedian interaction. He goes, he's like, "Hey, you're doing this other gig. Who's featuring for you on that? Because if you do my gig, he could maybe feature for you there." And I go, "Well, it's supposed to be this guy. It was supposed to be Charles." And he goes, "Oh, what happened? Did Charles cancel?" Like pretty dark joke.
Very dark.
Yeah, I brought it up to my wife, and she was like, "Yeah, you guys are fucking sick. Like, I don't know, you guys are.
You're a
It's
piece
too
of
much."
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how we deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the grieving process.
All right. So
I mean,
Anyway,
I wouldn't want to do a gig from you either, but it feels extreme.
for some reason, it feels harsher when Andrew says it that way. I don't know. You had this a while back, Andrew. I thought it was an interesting question, which is if you played for the Seahawks or a team that won the championship, would you visit the White House? I'm going to tell you this. There's never been a president I've really liked, and I would visit them for sure. I haven't liked... there was, in retrospect, I haven't liked... I could go back and not like any of the presidents. Like, I think they're all pretty terrible, and I would visit every single one of them.
including the current.
I would understand why people... I understand why that's slightly different. To me, like, when people were like, I'm not going to go visit Biden, it's like, well, the guy's like an empty shell. Like, I understand not liking his politics, but, like, he's not like a vile human, where a lot of people think the present guy is a pretty vile human, which I understand.
I wish you could visit... Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I actually am interested in what you're going to say. Which you could visit what?
Well, Corey wouldn't mind visiting Biden because he's got no hair to sniff, so...
Well, they also graduated high school together.
I didn't graduate.
Oh, you're
I
corn
wish
pop?
you could. I wish you could visit and not have to smile and take the photo and eat the McDonald's, and he wouldn't allow it. I think he would like call individuals out of like, what are you, what's your problem here? Like, I wish you could visit the White House. Be like, nah, this is very interesting. I reverence to the building, to the office, or whatever. Do I even have that? Do I have reverence to the office of the building? I don't know.
Corey'd be
straight
like,
face
"Hey,
shit.
can you get that DUI off my record? Actually, can you,
And
I mean, you're gonna
he
have to
would.
go put time in at a nursing home anyway for your DUI. You might as well make it the White House, you know."
That's true. He wouldn't be able to figure out how to do it.
I don't think you've done
But
anything bad enough for him to pardon you.
that's true. Thank you very much, Casey. That's this turkey. But yeah, but you have, the hockey team gives him a call, and they're all giggling and laughing at his joke, and you're like, I could see that happening. Like, it's not.
He's gonna make you a moment, though. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna do
There's
some
no
phone
way
call
around
where he's
that.
like, "Yeah, them bitches," and you're gonna be in the background going, "Huh? I wasn't really
Oh,
paying
yeah.
attention. I didn't
Yeah.
know
Even
we
if you're
were doing all this."
I didn't know this is being gonna released on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram tomorrow, but yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I've hated him since the '90s, so it's not even like just his, 1890s, and so I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I just don't care for him as a narcissist, So I don't know. Would I go? I don't know. I would do what everybody else did, basically. I think is like, if the
Whatever. Strong take, Corey. Oh, whatever the team decides
I'm
is
just-
the good choice. Oh,
Not a good
why don't
choice,
we even
just
have a
I'm
podcast?
Oh, Andrew's mad. Finally,
I
some
think that's
emotion out of the man. Finally, some
Yeah.
emotion out of the guy. Yeah.
well, I think
only- if
that's
only
an
he could-
interesting take to be like, yeah, I would wimp out. I mean, that's like,
You wait. When
Different.
you say
Handle
wimp out, what
being
does that
called a
mean?
pussy?
You would go or you wouldn't go?
I'd wimp out, and if the I just kind of do what the majority did, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what did the most recent, like, people opted out?
Seahawks
did they
never
go?
made
What
a
did- what happened?
decision, or
What happened?
they never made an announcement publicly, and the White House never formally invited. I think it was a both like, we're good, right? Like I think we
Because they didn't go, right?
we don't need any of this. You know what I mean?
Is
Yeah.
the window closed on them going? I don't know what the. I've
don't know
experienced
either.
so few championships in my life that it's hard. To, like, when is visit the White House season? I don't know.
There's a war going on. I don't think it's appropriate for. Although Mike
Some of those
McDonald
guys might
could
be worried they're gonna get
strategize
drafted.
the defense going on. Yeah.
That's true.
Well, would you go? Would you do jokes at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? Yes, of course we would.
Mhm.
Okay, but we haven't. So can I? Is there a world where I can go to the White House and talk shit to him? Then yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Would
it
you
doesn't
wear
feel like you
something
could
under
even
your
do
jacket
it. You
and
would.
then
It feels like he
pull
would
out, like, a
find a way to
political-
arrest you for the rest of your life or something. Like,
Yeah.
he would. I don't know. Yeah.
you wear like a Free Palestine shirt, and then once
Can
you
I
get the
go?
team
Yeah,
photo,
exactly.
you rip it off and you go ah. Or
You
would
know.
it be
Yeah, is it-
Polly
but isn't
Support
Marquez?
another
Israel,
option just
but, yeah.
Isn't it another option just to go up there and stand like 3 rows back and not make it about you?
That's what I
Like,
mean.
That's what I would probably do.
Maybe.
Is, if I'm being honest with you guys, like, I understand what you're saying, and I would totally, when we're on a football team that wins a championship, I'll totally support you guys not. I'll totally support you guys not going if you don't want to. And I don't like the guy. I disagree with him on a million things. I'm not.
Sure.
But I've like. I don't like any of them. I guess that's like the thing to me is if you go into it with this idea that one is good and the other is bad, maybe one's worse. I'm not arguing that, but like
Sure.
none of them are good. They're all narcissists. Like if you think
Yeah,
the
I guess.
narcissism in politics starts and ends at Donald Trump, like I think that's wrong.
Well, I'm just saying the original reason why I hated him
Yeah.
was that it was like, I don't. This guy sucks. He stinks. But
Yeah.
yeah.
You were like Home Alone 2, I'm out.
Corey got
Well, it
stranded
was-
on Trump.
I'm pretty
Trump
old.
Airlines one time, and
So
Did he have an airline?
yeah,
That's
right.
hilarious.
Trump
so
Water, Trump
funny.
Airlines.
Corey was
Trump
a big
University.
investor in Trump stakes in the early days.
I didn't graduate from Trump University, so I guess that's my point. Is I don't think he would allow you to. I mean, maybe he would because there's 50 people, but it just feels like he wouldn't even allow you to just like slink into the background. It would be like, I don't know. He would be like, "What's this guy's fucking problem?" Like, And look into that guy. We need to get him. What's his? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's right. So he probably does read
like,
everyone's tweets.
I mean, you could go to every other president and be like, "Thanks, appreciate it. Sit 3 rows back, take your photo, get the hell out of here," and it would be not an issue. But I don't know, maybe not.
All right. Do you want to talk
Mariners,
about
slow start? Oh God.
There's three baseball topics I think to close us out. One is, and you guys pick the order. Colt Emerson gets a record-setting contract for a player who has never played in the majors before. 0 days of MLB service time. Signs an 8-year, $95 million extension.
Are we going to re-sign him? Is that the question?
Well, look, I know what Andrew's opinion is on the deal.
I don't know. This is crazy.
Whatever they choose. Yeah.
Hey.
ABS,
and then we can talk about the slow start. I'm a little less inclined because baseball is just like the whole thing. There's a quote I always think about with baseball, which is you're going to win 60 games, you're going to lose 60 games. It's what you do with the other 40 that matters. And it's like, yeah, man. I mean, going 3-4 to start on a 7-game homestand or whatever. Not it's not ideal, but it's your. It's
but it's how they went 3-4.
Because the three, Josh Naylor, Julio Rodriguez, and Cal Raleigh all struggled. Yeah, and I bet you if you looked at last year when Cal Raleigh was incredible, and even later in the season when Julio Rodriguez got good and Josh Naylor was here, I bet you could find stretches where they performed similarly. It sucks that it's at the beginning of the season. It's really isolated because it's at the beginning of the season. It looks really bad. And also, when you go, well, all three guys played in the World Baseball Classic. Is that the cause?
Yeah.
And if those guys struggle this year, is that going to cause teams to be less happy or less willing to let players go play in the World Baseball Classic? But yeah, those are interesting.
Right.
Do you have feelings on any of that stuff, or is it just whatever Canada does with their rosters?
Cal kind of barely played, right?
True.
Isn't that kind of the issue? Is that he was not even? He was sort of.
He wasn't very productive early, and then
Yeah.
And then the handshake gate and the whole. Well, we talked beforehand. I told him to fuck off with that, and he did it anyway. And hey, I'm just here to make the Mariners great again, and whatever the team wants, I swear that was just an isolated. What was the whole fist bump fiasco? Why was that blown up into a thing that's going to break up our baseball team?
Well, are you talking about the handshake thing?
Yeah.
Was that still affecting people? Do you think that's part of the start?
It seems like, Randy had he made a non-statement statement and then made another statement that was we're good. I tend to think that they probably are good. I have a suspicion that if they weren't good, the Mariners would have considered moving on from Randy Arozarena before the season started, trading him, because he's got I think now, because this is stuff that isn't super sexy to talk about, but they can get a draft pick for him if they hold on to him all season and give him a qualifying offer. But you have to have him on your roster the whole season.
Day
so
one.
whoever they would trade him to, he's less valuable to now than he was a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I don't know. I think the most likely cause is just the cycle of baseball, and all three guys had a slump at the same time, and that sucks. And the fact that with those guys struggling, they still went 3-4 is kind of encouraging, right? Brendan Donovan
didn't get blown out.
They had what was the worst score? They had some close games.
Whatever.
Yeah,
close games.
Brendan Donovan has shown exactly kind of what I thought he was going to be, which is not great defensively, but pretty good hitter. I do think it's one interesting thing about him in particular is how he kind of blocks Colt Emerson more than J.P. Crawford blocks him. Having another lefty that plays third base is that's a tough. They're just very left-handed in the infield.
DePito was pretty.
DePoto, Jesus!
Adamant. Sorry,
you just said pedo. I was like, what is going on?
DePitophile DePoto was very adamant that when Crawford's healthy, he'll be shortstop. If Emerson comes up, he'll play third, and Donovan will be roaming, or he didn't say DH, but I would imagine sometimes. But utility. So that kind of sort of answers that. If
Can Donovan play left field-ish?
He's
Better
played
than a
left field and
Rosarina?
right field.
Yeah.
He's bad defensively in the outfield. His best
Yeah.
defensive position is second base, but they have Cole Young there.
Yeah.
And I'll say like JP Crawford is one of the worst defensive shortstops
Yeah.
in baseball. Like second worst to only the dude whose name is escaping me, but the guy in Washington. And it's like those two guys are in a bad tier of their own. Like they're both really CJ Abrams, I believe is his name. And then so like I think that's a decision that is if at the end of the year the Mariners lose their division or miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 games or miss a division title and earn the wild card, I think looking at JP Crawford's defense versus if Colt Emerson could just be an average defensive shortstop, that's a huge difference because he's literally like a win and a half. You lose a win and a half compared to an average defensive shortstop with
Well,
with
and
JP Crawford.
that's why it was a little surprising. I was a little surprised that he said that. But I mean, will he stick by that? Is he just saying that? Is whatever. But
I think this is. I think we're missing the key here, which is that this is all Adam Ray's fault. He's got Cal Raleigh launching his own merch line. He's got a brand of porta potties. He's doing Dr. Phil interviews every day. How is he supposed to keep his head on baseball when he's now this international celebrity? And
Well, I blame anybody who ruins the. Okay, so here's what anybody who ruins like the vibe of Dump It Here, that's who I would go after. It was a one-man job, it was a one-man thing, and then there was something magical about it, and then you try to
people try to
on,
co-opt it,
and you can't. You ruin the dump her.
Yeah. I mean, get that guy out of the bleachers. Stop showing up to every game with your magical T-shirt. You don't have special powers. Cal Raleigh needs to focus. He can't have you out there taking credit for his success and starting your own merch line and FaceTiming after every show on the bus ride going, hey, and then sharing that on Facebook and going, guess who I'm best friends with, everybody? I'm coming to burn your house down.
Yeah. Do we have his address? Because I will take part. I'm willing to.
Yeah, I think you're. Let's move on. Mariners, we just kind of gotta.
I'm also scared to piss off Adam Ray.
You're still holding out for opening gigs.
I don't know if we're talking about Jameson Wyatt or Adam Ray at this point. Both equal celebrities in the world.
I was talking about. I was talking about Andrew clout chasing Jameson.
Yeah.
That's who I blame. He ruined the vibe of it. ABS, that's fun.
Yeah.
No?
Well, hold on. I want to talk about Colt Emerson's contract real quick because and then we'll talk about it. We'll get close out on ABS. Colt Emerson signs the 8-year, $95 million deal. In his first, so Juan Soto is like the most paid guy through his pre-arbitration and arbitration years, and he made like $90 million. Plus, then he made the next 2 years. He made a lot more money because he was on his extension. This is not that big of a discount. Like it's cool that he's gonna be here for like 2 extra years, but he was stuck in Seattle for those 6 years regardless. Unless, of course, the labor agreement makes the arbitration period 4 years or 5 years and they lose a year. So they shore up him going into this labor unrest. Yeah. So I think that part of it's interesting. But it's not that big of a discount. It means he's got to be. I saw someone estimate like a 3 to 4.5 win player, depending on like what free agency does in the next couple of years. That's a pretty damn good player that he has to be just to make the contract like even money. So I think it's like a little bit. It's a little dicey to say like it's obviously a good deal. And the other thing that I've heard people say that I disagree with completely is they go, oh, this is like evidence that Seattle's now a destination. Who has signed with what hitter has signed in Seattle? There's been Julio Rodriguez, who was 16 years old, making probably bad decisions when he was 16 years old, and then stuck here in the arbitration process. Cal Raleigh stuck here in the arbitration process. Colt Emerson stuck in the minor leagues. And Josh Naylor, who got traded here against his will. Like, nobody's choosing to come to Seattle initially. It's still not a destination. I would love it if that became the case, but it's just not true. Andrew, what are you trying to figure out how to say the team?
I mean, even the weather kills all your offense for the first 6 months of the season, and we got a shitty fan base, and
dang, I didn't realize. I didn't know which direction, which woe is me direction Andrew was going in. This is...
No, I think it's I don't think the owners have shown a propensity to really take wild swings either way. So I think that they've tried to, and mostly correctly, calculated. We talk about what people will come to your team and stuff, and so they put together a pretty good deal. The prospects, paying the prospect before he becomes anything is a little scary. They tried to do the same thing with Jared Kelenic, actually, and then
and Dustin Ackley, by the way,
turned them down, and so we kind of lucked out there. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't think Ryan Bliss is long for the roster, and then
he's already gotten called
JP,
down.
Yeah,
or sent down. JP's up, he's down.
There you go.
It happened like shortly before we started recording. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, and I like Ryan Bliss. He's an interesting guy. He's like 5'1", and he's like 5'6", but he's can play second base and is very
Children's
fast.
Hospital.
Yeah. If he goes into like the sight impaired ward at the Children's Hospital, they could just say he's Russell Wilson. That's nice.
Well, Cole Young, instead of doing a press conference for his contract, decided to play. He turned it down because he wanted to play with the Rainiers that day. So
Colt Emerson, not Cole Young.
Yeah, Colt Emerson.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So
yeah, I like that.
All the talking points are good. But I don't know anything, so I haven't watched two baseball swings other than whatever Twitter has shown me of him. So I don't know.
You're like Jim Nance.
I mean, I'm obviously a lifelong Rainiers fan, and I go to every game. Yeah, they have a baseball team. Yeah, I think that's the smart move because you've got to build this team from the ground up because you're not going to actually get any free agents or, we've seen what our limited return on, and maybe that's just Mariner fans gaslighting themselves, but thinking they can trade Harry Ford for a top-of-the-line star center fielder from another team or whatever. So
sure.
Prospects aren't going to get you much in a trade anyway. And so we'll see what happens. I think that's how you've got to build in the MLB is just build the best competitive team you can and then try to make it to the trade deadline. And then, hopefully you've got a good team that's worth investing in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they should keep building from within, and they have not signed anyone since Robinson Cano, I think, to a massive free agent deal. I want to say, if you count Josh Naylor, I think he's like the second largest maybe free agent contract they've ever signed someone to. You eventually have to make a decision on George Kirby, and you got to make a decision on who from the rotation you think you can keep. Obviously, the labor situation will decide some of that. Like if there's a salary cap, it's a little different. But yeah, it'll be interesting the next couple of years to see what they do. And there's just so much uncertainty in Major League Baseball right now because of it's like this looming issue, and everyone's building up hundreds of millions of dollars to be able to survive this. That it just feels like we are headed for a work stoppage one way or another. And you hope it doesn't take a season away from a guy as young as Colt Emerson and as good as Colt Emerson is as a prospect. So. All right, let's talk ABS and get out of here because I like the idea of robot umps, ABS is like the intermediate step between human umps and robot umps. It's not what I want, but it's better than what we had, in my opinion. But I discovered something about it. Pitching Ninja. Can I say something, by the way? Pitching Ninja, that guy, Rob Friedman, that's the weirdest looking guy. Like, he is a strange, he's not what you expect. I don't know what I expected. I think maybe an Asian guy going by Pitching Ninja. Maybe it was the first thing I expected. But he's just like an odd dude with an odd voice. And you feel like it's like Pee Wee Herman is making your favorite Twitter content. I don't know. But he made a point of the Mariners Yankees game. There was a pitch that was 1/100th of an inch outside of the zone, but from the side, it looked like the catcher caught it significantly below the zone. And did you know that ABS only measures the ball at a single plane in the middle of the plate? Because that's not the rule book strike zone.
Right. That's why they're changing it. They're tweaking it now after the first week.
Is that true? Are they actually tweaking the shape of the strike zone?
I believe so, because they were realizing, like, oh, we only actually measured it in one spot, and the strike zone is 3D. I think the Mariners with sidearm Sally Emerson Hancock, I think they got away with something like that with a sweeper that kind of, it even fooled Cal, where like they challenged it and they got lucky because it just half of a centimeter nicked the strike zone there.
I don't see anything about them changing it. I'd be curious if you find that to let me know. I did like how all of a sudden every player is going by their actual height. That's pretty fun.
That was a fun.
Yeah. Overall, though, like I think it's good. CB Buckner looks like an asshole. He also got hit by a ball and had to leave the game. But like the new, it's so funny to watch these umpires get shown up by a guy. I think Randy Arozarena did it already, where he's literally, he gets called out on strikes, taps his helmet, and walks to first base.
Yeah.
And it's like the umpires now, they just don't have any ability to, in that situation, make it about them. He would have been kicked out of a game for doing something like that. And it's like the umpires are so handcuffed. And by the way, great. Who cares about the umpires' feelings? That's why I want them out. Get them out.
You want all robot umpires.
That's right.
But, okay. But for the game, the future of the game, do we lose? I mean, hockey has survived getting rid of fighting, basically, not fully, whatever. And I guess that's fine. But man, I love a fight and an argument and a John Boy lip read and we've only had
John Boy's
one.
going out of business. Won't anyone think of the bloggers? Come on.
We've had one argument over whether it was too late of a challenge, so that turned into a big fight and kicked him out of the game, and that was fun. But like, I don't know. I mean, they're gonna still have umps because you can't do robots for everything, probably.
I think to keep the pace of play going, like you want to have umps on the field calling outs and calling foul and fair and like taking care of that stuff in real time for sure.
Someone's got to have some authority also. Like, you can't just let the players we're going to have robot umpires from the Jetsons made that goes,
stop
you're
fighting.
Out.
Stop.
Did you ever play Base Wars on Nintendo?
No.
Oh, it was a game where you were like a robot, and if you ever got thrown out at first, instead of just being out, you were like two robots that would like shoot rockets at each other and shit. Like that was how
it's like MLB NFL Blitz for baseball. That's fun.
Yeah, way back when, and that's I'm fully in favor of a fully automated strike zone. If that means that you don't need a guy behind the plate, I think CB Buckner is a good example of how it can be a little hazardous to be behind the plate as an umpire. I also think you see some times where those guys get like hit by the ball and it obstructs play. And like, let's say on a pass ball, it hits the umpire and doesn't go, and it changes the outcome of that one play. Baseball will look a little different if there's not a fat guy hunching behind the catcher. Like I get it'll look a little different. And I understand that. listen, you want it to be 1950s, you want to make America great again, and your first step is through
Let me
keeping
change
the
my hat
umpires.
real quick.
No, I mean I don't know. This is like a huge step forward. This is what I've wanted for years. So I
Yeah.
apologize for doing a little bit of a victory lap, and I wanted them to go further. Like I don't think they've gone far enough, and I don't think they're done. Like I don't think we're very
No.
far away from a fully automated strike zone. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Probably not. And I just, it's been very fun. I think the challenges have been fun. A lot of big cheers from the crowd when they win. Some
Yeah,
viral
Corey and I
clips,
went to a game actually, and
yeah. I was yelling at Cal for not utilizing it in the 8th inning of the very first game. I was shocked he didn't. I didn't understand it, but he maybe just didn't do it quick like he didn't think quick enough.
Yeah.
I saw a stat last night that here's what I said when it was happening. I said that it's one of those things where, because I'm so used to golf, where if you embrace the rules and you utilize them, you can have a significant advantage over other players. Not really at the highest level, because they almost always get it right at the highest level because they have
Sure.
people on every hole, rules officials. But at the high school coaching level that I did, it's like these kids could have 2-3 stroke advantage on another player over a course of 36 holes by just knowing the rules and utilizing them correctly and to your advantage. And so anyway, last night they popped up that like the Yankees were 12-2 in challenges and we were 3-4 or something like that. And I'm like, I mean, that's huge. I mean, it's like butterfly effect in a game.
Yeah.
In a close game, we were down 1 run when Cal didn't challenge a strike call that was clearly a ball. And all right, there you go, the end of the inning. And so anyway, embrace it, become great at it, become the best team in the league at that. However you need to do that.
Yeah.
And someone, what made me angry
like,
is someone said that Cal was against, I don't know if he really is against the idea of this ABS.
well, he certainly embraced it
so
since then.
As a catcher, yeah.
Well, he
Right.
challenged one that was like 6 inches low or something like that too. But
anyway, so
Well,
that
do you
I don't
think-
think he would
hurting the
avoid
game?
doing it, but like I think no. I just
So
think
the
there's
rule changes in the last couple of years. There's been the pitch clock is a big one. The extra
Those are all-
innings, man
yeah.
on second.
I think Theo Epstein's brilliant, and he's done a really good job of trying to get in on what
Your second
like,
favorite Epstein.
I'm not even denying it. I'm just laughing. That's probably not good. He's been great. He has a good pulse on it, but like arbitration plus the TV bullshit that people are pissed about, not being able to watch their teams and figure out how to watch their teams and paying to watch their teams extra. And I mean, baseball, you're not on the steady ground that the NFL is on. You could
Sure.
really cause a huge problem for your league if you. And I just think that this current change is great. So I'm not saying leave it as is, but I don't know. You remove viral clips, and you could be in trouble as a league because viral clips are big.
so Corey, maybe you're
That's
saying
how people watch baseball is
keep
viral clips. They don't watch the game.
I like the part where
NBA.
Cal Raleigh talked to the crowd and saw what pitch they wanted him to call.
Let's do that.
I think they should get rid of the like iPad in the dugout every play where they're like, hold up, we gotta look at our video. Like I think doing this within a couple seconds is like a really cool way to incorporate the rest of the challenge system. Like if you're that confident and you have that level of trust in your player to make that call, I kind of like still having the human element. Maybe I'll change my mind in 5 years, but I like the idea of like you get 2 plus however many you get right in a row. Maybe
Strategy
like
and-
maybe just you get 1 extra free one in the 9th inning just for the sake of the game anyway. But so you're not just like saving it, because we've shown how often they do get wrong. But I think Casey you do have a point where it's like, just get the game right. Humans are so flawed. It's like, why are we even having human players? I think we should have robot players.
Yeah, base
play
wars.
the game. You know what I mean? Because like umpires, why have humans? Cal Raleigh slow start? We could just put a program that says he hits 260 every year plus 60, and then we simulate it, and then no one tears an ACL, no one gets hurt. And
No, I
No one
agree
has
with
to
you
go to the White
completely.
House. No one has to go to the White House.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. No, you send a
They're
robot
already-
to the White House.
They're already building the data center under the White House ballroom, so it's like, why even play the game,
I will
like
say,
it.
until you took this needless jab at me, I do think you were making a good point. I do think that the idea that you
Have an opinion. Stop having an opinion when it is against mine.
it's banter, you dork.
Oh,
I'm
My feelings are hurt.
we really got you
my
early too. That's the
feelings
problem.
are hurt really badly.
I think that the guy with the iPad and like watching every
Whee!
play down to the frame does suck. I would like to see the replay be only called by people who saw it in real time, not like a booth upstairs. I agree with you on that. That's one thing. Two, I think
What if
the
CB Buckner was like, "Can I get a replay?" Actually, I have no
I
idea.
need some help.
I did not
well, I
pay
think he
attention.
might be
I-
touching a spot on his face that is bruised right now. But I also think that
He's getting extra pine
spirit
tar here.
the spirit of the replay, where it was like there'd be like a guy sliding into second and his foot as it bounced off of first base was like a millimeter off of second base. I don't know, I'm mixing bases up.
Yeah, no, I know.
That sucks. Like, I think when a guy's
Yeah.
sliding into a base, we assume he's on base. This is the way NFL replay used to be described, is 100 drunks in a bar should be able to look at the replay and go, this is what it is. And I do agree with that for baseball in general. I think there's calls where it's like a foul ball where we
You
can
just
maybe
want
be.
a job as one of the drunks in the
I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get into when they're like, we're going to New York. I'm like, how about Tacoma?
I don't know. You do think what though?
No, I think that the like it sucks when it's just used for this like microscopic, like
Yeah.
that takes a little bit of the fun away from the game, as opposed to like on foul balls. I get it, because you're going to probably run the play and then make the decision anyway. Or at least that's kind of the way the NFL's gone, right? Is they let the play run out and then go figure out, was he in bounds or out of bounds? Did he step out? Whatever. Like that stuff can all be determined, and I think that stuff's all good for the like competitive balance of the game. And make them all robots. That's my other stance. Like Andrew said, that's my
robot
real
pitchers,
opinion.
You're gonna have to really check for extra grease on the ball. It's
Tommy
gonna
John
be
surgery
really-
is expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, my light just went out.
Usually-
We
Casey
got
went dark.
problems. Yeah.
That's the night that the light went out.
Speaking of expensive, Casey,
What were we
pay your
saying a
light bill.
minute ago? That was, I already forgot. Shoot, there was a thought I had, but it's lost, and that's fine. And
Well,
ABS for the win.
do you have any thoughts? Are you surprised with how this ABS turned out, Corey? Do you want to see full robot umpires? Do you miss
no, I think
should be there like a
yeah.
designated fight period where 7th inning stretch, everyone gets to just
I just
box.
want kicking dirt and throwing bases, and it's fun.
yeah. We need things to
So-
argue about. We need to come up with new ways to argue.
Yeah, no,
I mean-
you're really into arguing. I've noticed since we started doing this podcast. I'm whatever the authorities say, that's what I say. I like that. Hey, where are you guys? I'm gonna be. I'll do my plugs real quick. I'm gonna.
Plug in your light while you're at it.
I'll be at all weekend. I'm opening for Gabriel Rutledge at the Emerald City Comedy Club, and then I'm opening for Stephen Ho at the Neptune Theater on April 12th. I think it's the 12th, but whatever
Yeah,
day
come
he's there.
watch you at the Emerald City Comedy Club tomorrow. or
Yeah, that's a
something.
good idea.
Be fun. Haven't seen Gabe in a while.
He's been saying he's enjoyed not being around you.
Well, I'll just hide out in the back. I'm
Ruin
sure
it.
his shows will be full. So, I'll be at the Edmonds Theater Saturday, April
Hell yeah.
4th.
My next local thing is that we got May 1st, Friday, May 1st, Brad Upton, Corey Michaelis,
Sure.
Andrew Rivers in Bellevue at the Maidenbauer Theater. And then the next night, Andrew and I are going
Lucky
to do
7.
Kirkland at Lucky 7. That's what Andrew's going to be looking to do is get lucky with a 7. So we'll
Ooh.
see.
I would take.
You might have to go with 2 3.5s.
I'd take 2 2s at this, or take 2 1s at this point. Damn it!
Snake eyes. All right.
All right, let me figure out how to get out of this real quickly. And yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Hold on, let's get the song to play.